Welcome to the Encore Audio Archives YouTube channel. I'm Taper Dave, and this is my channel. I've uploaded hundreds of talks here that I've recorded at meetings in West LA, and I've also recorded conventions starting in 2013. I've got a bunch of those up. And Walt and Mary Murray, the original owners of Encore Audio Archives, started the company in the 80s, and Walt recorded Joe and Charlie's and a bunch of stuff down in Vista, California. My sobriety date is June 20th of 1994. I hope you find something you like, so please like and subscribe to my channel and comment down below. If you want to hear something that I don't have or that you don't see, I'll see that I get it. Anyways, take care and have a great day if you want to.
Now it is time to introduce our main speaker for tonight, Robert.
Robert, alcoholic. Thanks, Rome. Rome and I have a lot in common. We have the same sobriety date. And I have a rubber band around my wrist. Just because I actually just have a rubber band around my wrist. It's a long story. So the first day I woke up sober was July 5th, 2004. But I also kind of feel like my sobriety date is July 4th because I also celebrate the day that somehow or other I finally surrendered to this program and a bunch of other things. And I kind of have trouble, and by the way, John, thanks for asking me to speak. I've had kind of a really odd day and a very between feeling really grateful and like miserable, and like I have nothing really to be miserable about, so then I feel a little guilty for feeling miserable. And but the funny thing is I'm so fucking pumped to be coming to Rodeo, as it stands now, in Westwood on Hillgard, on a Friday night at 8 o'clock. I was in a bubble bath at 7 o'clock. And then we left on time, and we got here. And you know, it's Rodeo, and it's a little bit inundating, and I have the pleasure of, I have a sponsee whom I met here who gave me the unqualified pleasure of meeting him dressed like a rocker, wearing stovepipe pants, looking at me like what a thrill it was going to be for me to watch him go in and out for 2 years. And now I just love you, Noah, and I've seen him much as myself, just be one of those people. And by the way, I remember when Rodeo was on Rodeo, I was one of those schmucks who just like dress up. I mean, not unlike this kind of preppy murderer look I got going tonight, except back in '87 or something when it was like, I'm fucking done it, oh, woo! And I had no idea how much hell was to follow and how much deeper and how many more bottoms under the bottoms were just so treacherous and all that. So, and I say this just because, you know, it's so possible. And John also told me that I should just do about a half an hour of unadulterated war stories and then clean it up real close toward the end. There's a lot of newcomers here, and probably only half the people who raised their hand as newcomers really did. And having been a newcomer for 20 years once, I know that feeling. I hate, oh God, it drives me nuts. There's this there's something about, I was saying, me and the missus have this thing. We invented it. I highly suggest every one of you do it, in addition to all the other suggestions that won't be out of the book that I want you to take literally that come out of my mouth tonight. We do this thing where we just start venting, and I'll finish one stream of consciousness, and I'll go like, I just feeling like time is like really weird, like I'm all over the place today, and I was thinking about when I was a kid, and I'm gonna done, it's just like tripping me out, and why is it linear? Go. And then she'll start her thing, and when she's done, she'll say go. So in proper non-linear order, I'd like to start. Let's take there. I was driving down to where I had to work in Downey, which is also my surname. I don't buy too heavily into synchronicity anymore because I'm sure there's someone whose last name is Sherman who was working in fucking Sherman Oaks this week. And my narcissism is abated just enough that I can see when I'm making cosmic Bodhi tree connections that absolutely are well within the realm of averages, because I am so twisted and so sick that I need to pretend that everything is remarkably magical and centers around me, and and it's Jeremy Sitchin, it's all kinds of 12th planets and hidden conspiracies, and I'm the guy who's figured it out, and it's just like calming all those energies has really brought me a long way. But I'm in Downey. My name is Downey. And I'm in Downey. My name is Downey, and I'm driving this car, and I see this motorcycle cop, and I'm like, that motherfucker has no reason to pull me. Woo, woo, woo. Going 35. What was I doing? Going 35 and a fucking 35. That's what it's like now. What it used to be like, circa 1995, 6, 7, 8. Then a brief break for penitentiaries, jails, institutions, and almost death, was I peel out in an F-150 with like 25 Chili Willies that I had to buy somewhere near Topanga and PCH, just because in case I needed to keep like 40 beers cool at once. So drunk, so fucking drunk on Mickey's Big Mouths, which seems to be my go-to, it's time to get arrested beer. And enough narcotics to just seemingly never stop the run I'm going on that I'm in a hurry to get to, even though I'm on it, and I've been on it for a while. And coming up to Cane and Doom and coming to the stoplight and just going, dude, it's fucking on, I'm almost home. Most accidents happen at home, but this ain't an accident, I'm fucking right on time, I got my Chili Willies. Boom, and I step on it, and I see a cop like 3 miles away, and I can tell he's already looking at me. That's that Downey motherfucker. I've been trying to bust him for a year, and he keeps passing the sobriety tests. How does he do it? Because we're good, that's how. Too damn good. I probably couldn't pass a sobriety test now unless they took, piss and blood and did a breathalyzer. But when I am on one, I am so determined to keep it going that it's really hard to keep a good man down. Back to what it's like now, to show you how far I've come. He pulls me over, and I've already got the window down, and I'm like, I did what? I did what? He's like, he's putting down his kickstand. I'm like, this fucking butch, fuck this dude. He comes to go, can I see you? I said, I didn't even do anything. He goes, can I just say what I was gonna say as the police officer for a second? I go, he goes, Mr. Downey, you're in Downey. I'm like, you know what, it doesn't mean anything. I didn't do anything. He goes, you have an illegal tint on your windows. I go, you know what? I said I didn't do anything, you're absolutely right. And I knew when I tinted those windows illegally, it's absolutely out of the question. I don't even know why I did that. I don't need them so dark that I can't see during the day or at night. Someone put me into the impression that I need especially dark tint on my windows at all times on all vehicles because I have special needs. So anyway, this is where I'm at right now. And by the way, this is where my sponsor, Jerry S., has me right now, is on step 10, because if you've done the other ones, and by the way, I suggest, just in this instance, doing them in order, it's a great maintenance step because it keeps you out of any sort of, righteous indignation or anything. Or at least it did for those 12 seconds. So I'm a drunk, clearly, in case you haven't recognized that, by the way. I bounce all over the place. There's a show on TV now that's almost replaced Intervention as my favorite go-to thing, called Obsessed. Oh, God, I love it. By the way, welcome to the newcomers. Sorry, fuckers. Stick your hand out to us. We're insane, but for the most part, even though sometimes a bunch of us will have time and then suddenly tell you, we don't really have all that time. I actually have the time I say I have, unless of course I tell you I don't, which I won't. Until I do, but I actually don't, because I'm almost 5 years sober. Reach your hand out to one of us, and it won't really mean anything, and you take numbers, and pretty soon you wind up, somebody hoodwinks you into getting a commitment. Yep. Yeah, Dave said to me, and this was early on when I didn't know I was struggling. I was struggling. And he said, hey, you know what? I could use a little help being secretary over at the Marina Center. I go, Marina Center? Don't they call that meeting where the debris meets the sea? I can't. I mean, you know, A, it's at night, and my tint's so dark, I want to be able to find a parking spot. And putting out my hand and having the hand put out to me and not slapping it away. I think Marty took a cake tonight. I vaguely know this guy, but I know that he's sober. Somebody's like, hey, you're going to give me a cake. I know you're speaking of it, I can't stay. I'm like, great. Come on, give me a cake. It's just how we do it around here, because you never fucking know you never know who's gonna save your ass. It's the most twisted thing. It could be like, that punk, that bitch, not them. Everyone else is cool and I don't know them, so it's okay. And it's gonna be one of those two, perhaps. Not that you're a punk bitch, by the way. Oh, God, and you go through it. Sometimes you get in trouble for doing the right thing around here. That's the twisted part. That's the twisted part. I didn't finish the story. I say to the cop, he says, you have an illegal tint. I go, I know, I'm right outside. And he goes, have a nice day. And he just gets on his bike and drives, so he doesn't give me a fix-it ticket. It's kind of anticlimactic. But it's weird. You do a 10th step sometimes on the spot, and the issue just goes away because there's nothing for the insanity, the disease of alcoholism, that peculiar mental twist about how gussied up, I'll speak for myself, we get about stuff that can lead to these resentments, that lead to suddenly having a drink in your hand and a reason for doing it and someone's face in your brain, and it's just so sick and it can happen so quick. Doubling back, I was born in New York. My dad is a hell of a guy. My mom picked me up from school once wearing a cape down to the ground and like a true blue menthol. Good afternoon, Bobby. And that was as good as it ever got. My family is nuts. I'm a product of that family. I was strung out and drunk and on all sorts of drugs well before I was 10 years old, and it took until I was 38 plus to get sober. It's a sick disease, and I just want to say that I believe, and it's explained and outlined in the book fairly well about this soul sickness, and I think the sickness for me, as it turned out anyway, was at a certain point when I felt, and I felt this way at a young age, and just kind of surrendered to it, much as I surrendered to the program later on. Come on, you're killing me. Bitch. That I felt like my soul had been hijacked, or rather, maybe I made some deal and I didn't remember, but I never knew when this feeling was going to come over me, where to the exclusion of all logic or all reasons to try to get any momentum doing anything, be in a relationship that wasn't absurdly codependent, or worse yet, being a relationship with someone who likes to party as much as I do, or all these twisted things, I think were a result of that. I just felt this, like my soul had been hijacked, and there was this soulless, terrible thing going on, and that to me is really the shame. In my personal opinion of alcoholism, is that it's so, by the time the insanity for me was on me, and it was there for a long time, and it becomes commonplace to just know that I don't really have it like other people, and I don't really put two and two together, and I tend to destroy things if they start going in any sort of way that has any foundation or structure, anything meaningful to it. And it's so toxic, and I felt so ashamed because I would see families that were dysfunctional families, but they still put their boat on the thing and they went down to the pond and this and that, and my situation was a little different. Like, the most together person in my whole extended family was my Uncle Jim, who, when I was living here, going to Samo High, he was living in like our pool house out back. This was the together guy, like 320 pounds, he lost 100. Living in the pool house back there, literally, and I come in this Datsun B210, he's sitting in the car and I go, "Hey, Uncle Jim, what's up?" It's like 10 in the morning, he goes, "Just getting down with a bad self." And he had like a gallon of almond wine. And at Thanksgiving time, he was literally, well, as we know, like, you know, under the table, like, "Do you want some gravy? Knock once for this or two for whatever, you know." And then my dad had some interesting friends, and I got to know the likes of Rustum B, sitting down there in the front row. If you stick around here, everyone will get to know him even better. But he was my first exposure to someone kind of in my age group, and I'm in Manhattan, and he looks at me, and he's so cool, and he looks like Brando, and he's just tortured, and I'm like, God, I want to get under this guy's wing. And he goes, he's like 5 minutes older than me, and he goes, "Hey, kid." I'm like, God, I adore him. I just wrote this song. Hold on. And he'd take these long pauses and put his head down, and I'm like, wow, that's really dramatic. He's just had his head down for like 10 minutes. And he goes, "Here's a song. I'm just an air conditioner repair man. I like fast cars and beer in the can." And I'm like, I'm gonna go wherever this fucking guy says to go. He says, "I'll tell you where we're going. We're gonna go get a rat burger, and then I'm gonna take you down to Alphabet City, and we're gonna score some dope." I'm like, dope? Dope? I think is that what I hope it is? Next thing you know, we got like guys, like real, like West Side Story Puerto Ricans, like 1980 style. Just like, give her that shit and put your fucking, they got knives wrapped in rags, and I'm like, this is exciting? Is this the shape of things to come with my idol? And he's literally standing there, and these are the people that I came to be like, you know, they're my contemporary James Dean. He was like, "We ain't giving you our dope, motherfucker." And I was like, we're gonna get stabbed. Oh, God, it's just never got any better than that. And then all of a sudden, people around me started kind of getting sober as I couldn't. And by the way, you know, I came out to LA and I wanted to be an actor, and I was in one just playing house with this poor fucking Jewish girl who didn't understand for 7 years. I think literally she just fucking broke a mirror and turned around, and I was there just like, "Hi." And we're out here, and we're in California, and woo! Oh, it was so twisted. Please tell me when I'm 5 minutes away, dude. I don't want to fuck this up. I love that you're smiling at me, John. It's everything you said it could be when we prayed together. God bless you. Just one twisted relationship after another, and then, so I said, if anything's worse than the codependent, who's just like, "I just don't understand why you can't save it for the weekends." And I come home one day and there's just Post-its on everything. I'm like, she's like, "I can't take it. I bought all the furniture and you own the house, so I'm gonna take all my furniture." And the typical alcoholic response, I said, "Hey, you know what? You forgot to put a Post-it on the fucking kitchen sink." Boom! And I'm alone. Worse than the Al-Anon is the girl that you meet who's like, "I'll fucking go shot for shot with you, motherfucker. Give me that pipe." Devastating, awful, tragic, nasty, and now expensive. But we're sober, and it's a fucking miracle. So, so I couldn't, and I didn't, and I had a career, and I like to go to jail. I like going to jail in the summertime. Right about now. This is my time, and it's time to load up the car with a bunch of shit. First of all, get drunk. Stow a bunch of shit. Should have done the heroin, but I do the coke instead, so I'm all fucking jacked up, going, fuck, I can have the balloon. Which balloon is the blue one is the dope, and the one's the fuck. And next thing you know, I'm just in county jail with some guy going, listen, I know you wound up in isolation for getting into that fight with those vatos that you weren't paying for that cocaine that you were doing in county jail. I got a script. I'm like, really? Lieutenant. Fuck. This is great. And then, of course, I wind up busting the lieutenant, and then, you know, ISS comes in, and everyone's mad at me, and oh, God. I can't even do jail right. I did prison pretty right. Prison's a lot more fun. Prison, I went to Kern County R&R. It's called Delano. It's where Phil Spector is right now. I called it. I was like, I bet he's going to wind up at Delano. They're like, Robert, he's going to go, he's probably going to Club Fed. And then I see a picture, and I was like, everyone, look at him, but he doesn't look bad without the hair. He's in fucking Delano. I'm in Delano, and I get popped out of my cell. And by the way, all I exist for at this point is what correctional officer can I sign autographs for to get half-smoked Marlboro 100s? I have a new mission in life. This is what I've fucking been reduced to, by the way. Fucked up a career, fucked up a marriage, everything fucked up, but I don't care because I exist for the next drink. I exist for the next hit. It's the only thing, until I got really sober, that ever gave me a sense of God's grace. And I believe we understand this. I believe that my experience is what I've heard from the men and women in Alcoholics Anonymous, and it is this thing that is so intimate that we share, and it is so desperate and so awful, and yet it is just a touch of God's grace that quickly goes away and is replaced by situations like this. Popped out of the cell. There's a very astute-looking Japanese gentleman. He's sweeping up around this processing center. He goes, I would like to pray in the Spirit with you. I go, fuck, I was just thinking that. I'm praying in the Spirit with you, too. But I also kind of got to take a shower because I only got 5 minutes, and you guys are going to look at my ass, and I have my underwear on backwards. It's just not fun. And I go, God, and he goes, let's pray in the Spirit together. He goes, what are you doing? What are you doing here? And I go, I just pissed off a judge, and it's something else I like to do. He goes, yeah. I go, how about, never ask that. I didn't learn yet. He goes, and like someone would say that they had too many parking tickets. He said, I killed my wife. And we proceeded to pray together. Now, not that I haven't chosen to be with weirder people when I was partying. And then prison wasn't enough, and then I come out, and then here we go again, and I like to relapse, not get arrested. I'd like to relapse around Halloween. It's my thing. I had this idea that what I was going to do this one particular Halloween, this was after I got sober, by the way, it was a big hurdle for me, was I was going to put on a Planet of the Apes mask. It just came to me. Maybe Cornelius, I'm not sure, maybe Zeus, one of the guys, maybe orangutan, I'm not sure. And that way, they won't know. This is my whiskey and the milk scenario. If anyone, I'm sure you can regale me with your stories of what your specific win-win situations are with a relapse. That's something that happens, we talk about God around here a lot. And by the way, I heard a great speaker the other day, the Tuesday night Brentwood Men's Stag, and he was an atheist. And and there's agnostics and atheists, it's like, there's a lot of space for all that stuff. And if anybody, And I'm speaking to myself as well because I have a semblance of it, and I definitely believe that there's magic and things that brought me here, and I'm a faithful man. But I remember that it used to be quite a bar for me, the whole getting past the God thing and the coming to believe thing. And I'll just do linear just for the hell of it. July 4th, I'm suited and booted and prepared to go get a bunch more felony arrests because, of course, it's summertime and it's my turn to go do that. And I probably relapsed again around Halloween and have been on a run ever since. I'm supposed to go sing at a friend's wedding. By the way, if you'd seen me, like Skeletor with a tux and just bad, just so bad and nasty and smelly feet and just everything. And I also like to fill whatever vehicle I'm in with all kinds of bags and buckets and boxes, kind of like, I don't know, like I'm gonna have a yard sale on a freeway. And I got everything I need because I've completely lost my mind, and it got to the point where one drink, one hit, one pull, one anything, and I go right past the fun that I've been having for 30 years, into psychosis, and it's full bells and whistles. And I like, as some of my compatriots, I like just stripping down and getting real scared. It's real fucking sexy. If you can get my attention long enough to not have me like cruising through your hair looking for bugs and wires and all kinds of other shit, because I am so special that there are intergalactic motherfuckers after me. And I guess I have an advantage if I'm scantily clad or have no clothes on is even better. Particularly if I'm like jumping around on the floor from one towel to another and spend all kinds of time in the shower trying to get shit off me that's not on me. God, it's just such awesome foreplay. I'm driving to this wedding, and it was the morning, and I just want to say, I mean, honestly, what happened was, I'm not a kid anymore. I'm getting up there. I got so much stuff. It's like, what's wrong? Well, there's nothing wrong with this picture. This is what I always do. It's about noon. I'm hammered. It's Mickey's Big Mouths again. I got them open. I dropped by a Burger King, get a little something down, because I'm probably going to be up for a couple weeks, and it's always good to have some fries in case you're going to stay up for a month. Jesus Christ, it's so sad, and everything is gone, and we have kids, and we have family, and we have business associates. We just have people. It got to the point where I was just like, pull in to get gas, and I'm saying, let me tell you something, little brother, you're gonna fucking die. And I'm just like, wow, I don't even know you. God, why are you so mad at me, you fucking biker, you NA motherfucker? But I didn't want to get beat down, so I'd be like, I've been sober for 12 fucking minutes or whatever, and I'd try to stand my ground while he was just like, you're so lost, man. You got to get your ass to Impact or Socorro. You got to get back to Cry Help. You got to go down. You got to fucking... I was just like, he's probably right. As it happened, I didn't. What I did was I hung a left instead of hanging a right, and in that moment, the opportunity began. And because I'd stayed plugged in to AA, and that's the thing, when they say keep coming back, it seems weird, because I was like, I'll keep coming back, I'll go out and I'll come back, and I'll go out and I'll come back, and that's what I do. I always keep coming back. Fuck. If I'm out of jail or prison, I'm back, and then I'll go out and then I'll come back again or whatever. But along the way, you know, and there's folks here who used to look at me as dubious as they should have, like, oh, he's a day tripper. Yeah, he shows up, he gets a chip, he goes out, and I get just a little bit different looks lately because people know that I'm deeply committed to this now. And I really agree and appreciate what you were saying, Rome, and that sometimes I'm pretty sure I don't know what happened, but I know that what happened was more will be disclosed to us, and God does for us what we can't do for ourselves. And then the rest of it, like getting past those sketchy situations when you're new, or when you, Keith, love you, man, got a couple days as I had for so many years. And it's like, what the fuck is there worth building on if you only got a couple days? We know everyone's been there. It's just that thing of what used to be the God's grace of that moment of escapism I got when I know I was throwing it all away, but my palms were sweating. It was going to be worth it, and I just needed out because the feelings were just too much. now would happen where I could sit on my hands long enough just to be okay for that relapse to pass over like a crowning wave in fucking Maui, and get up the next day, you know, with dust in my fucking Quicksilver shorts and go, wow, here I am again. And so anyway, it was a nasty kick. July 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and then my terminal and imperturbable Eskimo, Sam S., said, look at that guy over there with that black leather jacket on who's kind of scowling at you. I think that's your, I was like, don't say it, sponsor. And I started doing what this guy said, and we did the steps. We did them in order, and he's got me back on 10. I'm in a workshop also with a couple other clowns, and we're going back through the steps again because I'll forget every 5 seconds. Have I been done for a while? It's 5 now? Oh, dude, I'm so out of steam. But that's kind of how it works. So Jerry was like, he'd ask me all these questions. I'd be like, dude, please, do you know how many rehabs I've been to? Do you know how many times I've like soldiered up and been like, my disease wants me dead. I gotta call that disease a liar. I mean, oozing crocodile tears for months and months and months. And then I'm at the thing, and like Manny at Cry Help is like, man, I'm fucking amazed, man. I thought you were full of shit, and it's like, you fucking understand this recovery. And I was like, fuck Manny, I'm fucking my disease. And I was loaded 5 seconds after I graduated. 5 seconds. Because I live for this shit. If you're a real alcoholic, then that means I live for this. Along the way, I met my present wife. Great gal, thanks for coming. And I met her, and I was sober, and it was awesome and hot, and I decided that I was sober, I was gonna play a lot of squash, I was gonna fucking boom, and I was gonna smoke Camel on filters, and I was gonna sport fuck my way through the rest of my life. And I had this idea that I was finally gonna be all the guys are like, yeah, me and the lady broke up, and now it's just really tough. I'm just kind of fucking all these hot chicks all the time, you know. I was like, I'm gonna be that guy. And we fell in love, and it was really intense. And then we had this break away from each other in which I'm pretty sure, did Halloween happen? Something happened, and I'm out. And she comes back, and she's like, oh my God, you're a fucking terrible monster. I'm like, I'm not. She goes, oh my God, this is what all those people fucking warned me about. And I'm like, who are you talking to? Is that your old boyfriend? I'm gonna kick in every fucking wall. All of a sudden, like for 10 days, I was the most passionate. I was Sidney Kowalski. Everything I saw, I fucking broke, and I was all kinds of butch, and it just went nowhere. She was like, this is crazy. You got to get sober. I swear to God, I'm going to walk out on you. I'm like, I heard this one before, and you always come back, don't ya? God, she was serious as a heart attack, and I could tell, and it was just, she said, when a normie, not that you can be normal by any standards if you're falling in love with a serious fucking hope-to-die alcoholic, normal enough, says, like, I swear to God, this is really not like a boundary, like let's break it 300 times and build it back up and it doesn't mean anything more, but like serious, like boundaries. And suffice to say, it contributed to my ability to stay committed to the program. But that's why I want to say, and this is just my opinion, don't do anything for the first year unless, of course, you do. But if you're going to do something or get in a relationship in the first year, maybe don't get involved with someone who's fucking twisted up like you are, because then you're just going to send each other out. Or maybe you won't. Maybe we'll both get sober. What do I know? Or maybe he'll get sober and you'll die. Or maybe she. That's my great joy as a sponsor has been watching the guys go, dude, I fucking had 6 months, and then her. And they're loaded. And by the way, her name just changes depending on what fucking club they were at that week. But I think underneath it, there's part of us, and I'll speak for myself as a recovering alcoholic, we are desperately fucking devoted, faithful people. The same way that I was to my using and my drinking, I can be in other ways. And that's what I've done. And I do the steps, and I have a rough understanding of the traditions. I got all kinds of literature. I forget stuff real easy, so I'm always going like, first, like, okay, I'm going to speak tonight. What is it? What do I do? And people help me. So, like I said, I had a weird day, I've had a weird week, and I need this program so desperately that it's really hard for me to admit how central it is to everything, because it's hard to be cool and super dependent on AA. But I also remember strongly being told to wear it like a loose shirt and never, ever, ever, ever take it off. So to all my friends and family and people who I'm so pleased look at me like they can tell I might be sticking around this time, and all the new women and men, please enjoy what's possible here in AA. It saved my ass. Thanks.
I think we got a great talk going on here. Thanks for watching the channel. Taper Dave here. Just curious, do you think this is better than Zoom? Okay, this is how I prepare my drone for launching. I like to do it inside the cab of my truck so I'm not standing outside in the weather. To install the joysticks for control, up and down, right and left, powered on. I have an Android phone that I use to connect it to the drone with, and it's actually controlled through the iPhone, through an app. Oops, wrong way. It's actually controlled through the iPhone, or through this Android phone, through the app. It's actually controlled through the Android phone through an app, and you connect it through this short connection right here.
Remote control connected.
Remote control's connected. So I pull out the drone. I have to extend the legs, long legs extended first, then the short legs. Remove the gimbal protector. Set that aside, then power it on one short burst, then one long burst. I lay it down. So I have to go to calibrate. So the drone's not connected yet. It shows you here as this drone gets disconnected, even though the remote's powered on. So the drone has to establish it's connected. So I go into the app to calibration mode. First I'll calibrate the remote controller. Start calibration. Out, in, oop, out, in, up, down. And then this little wheel is to control the gimbal. So it's calibrated. Go to gimbal calibration, start calibration, and then it calibrates the gimbal. I don't know if that shows up. The gimbal's moving all over the place. Changes, you can see it on the video. And I'm calibrated to take off. It's acquired 7 satellites at the moment. There are 26 satellites up in the sky, which it has to acquire before you can take off. So it's connected. It's got enough satellites. This is white. I can go to press this little arrow button, swipe right to take off, and it would start the motors if I slid this to the right. But I'll wait till I get outside. Don't want to do it inside.